The first Korean kingdom, Gojoseon, was established in 2333 BCE by Dangun Wanggeom, a legendary founder. Gojoseon was a tribal state that developed into a more complex society, with a system of governance, economy, and culture. The three kingdoms of Korea, Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla, emerged in the 1st century BCE. Each kingdom had its own distinct culture, language, and system of governance, but they shared a common Korean identity. The Goryeo dynasty, from which the name Korea is derived, ruled from 918 to 1392 CE. During this period, Buddhism flourished and Korean culture developed a unique blend of Chinese and indigenous influences. The Joseon dynasty, which ruled from 1392 to 1910 CE, is considered one of the most important periods in Korean history. During this period, Confucianism became the dominant ideology, and Korean culture developed a strong emphasis on education, morality, and social hierarchy. Japan annexed Korea in 1910, renaming it Chosun. The annexation was met with widespread resistance from Koreans, who saw it as a threat to their national identity and sovereignty. Japan imposed harsh colonial rule, suppressing Korean culture and language. Koreans were forced to adopt Japanese names, language, and customs, and were subjected to forced labor, land confiscation, and other forms of exploitation. Koreans resisted Japanese rule, with many joining independence movements. The resistance movement was led by figures such as Kim Gu, Syngman Rhee, and Kim Il-sung, who would later become key players in North Korean politics. Korea was liberated from Japan in 1945, following Japan's defeat in World War II. The liberation was met with widespread celebration, but also created a power vacuum that would lead to the division of the peninsula. The Korean peninsula was divided along the 38th parallel, with the Soviet Union occupying the north and the United States occupying the south. The division was intended to be temporary, but it became permanent, leading to the establishment of two separate governments and the Korean War. The Korean War broke out in 1950, when North Korean forces, backed by China and the Soviet Union, invaded South Korea. The war ended with the signing of the Armistice Agreement in 1953, but a formal peace treaty was never signed, leaving the two Koreas technically still at war. The Provisional People's Committee for North Korea was established in 1946 with Kim Il-sung as its chairman. The committee was tasked with governing North Korea and preparing for the establishment of a socialist state. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea, also known as North Korea, was officially established on September 9, 1948. The DPRK was established as a socialist state, with Kim Il-sung as its leader. Kim Il-sung consolidated his power, establishing a centralized government and suppressing opposition. Kim Il-sung also established a cult of personality, promoting himself as a national hero and infallible leader. North Korea experienced rapid economic growth, driven by heavy industry and collectivized agriculture. The economy was heavily dependent on Soviet and Chinese aid, but it achieved significant gains in industrialization and infrastructure development. Kim Il-sung cultivated a cult of personality, promoting himself as a national hero and infallible leader. The cult of personality was reinforced through propaganda, education, and cultural activities, and it remains a central feature of North Korean politics. Kim Jong-il succeeded his father, Kim Il-sung, as leader of North Korea in 1994. His rule was marked by significant challenges, including economic crisis, famine, and international isolation. Kim Jong-il became the leader of North Korea after his father's death in 1994. He was already a key figure in the government, having been appointed as the successor in 1980. North Korea experienced a severe economic crisis in the mid-1990s, including widespread famine and economic stagnation. The crisis was caused by a combination of factors, including the collapse of the Soviet Union, which had been a key trading partner, and a series of natural disasters. Kim Jong-il introduced the Songun policy in 1998, which prioritized the development of the military over economic development. The policy was seen as a way to maintain stability and security in the face of economic crisis and international pressure. North Korea conducted its first nuclear test in 2006, which led to widespread international condemnation and sanctions. The nuclear program was seen as a way to deter foreign invasion and maintain the regime's survival. Kim Jong-il's health began to decline in the late 2000s, and he suffered a stroke in 2008. His youngest son, Kim Jong-un, was appointed as his successor in 2010, and Kim Jong-il died on December 17, 2011. Kim Jong-il's rule was marked by significant challenges and controversies, including economic crisis, famine, and nuclear proliferation. However, he also maintained the stability and survival of the regime, and his legacy continues to shape North Korean politics and society. Citizens are expected to show absolute respect and loyalty to the leader and the ruling party. North Korean society is divided into strict social classes, with the ruling elite at the top and the general population at the bottom. The collective is prioritized over the individual, and citizens are expected to put the needs of the state and society above their own. All media outlets are controlled by the state, and citizens only have access to government-approved news and information. Internet access is heavily restricted, and only a select few have access to the global internet. Foreign media is strictly forbidden, and citizens are not allowed to watch or listen to foreign news or entertainment. Citizens need special permits to travel within the country or abroad. Movement is restricted, and citizens need permission to move to a new city or region. Foreign travel is heavily restricted, and only a select few are allowed to travel abroad. The economy is heavily controlled by the state, and citizens have limited economic freedoms. Essential goods are rationed, and citizens are allocated a limited amount of food, clothing, and other essentials. Private enterprise is forbidden, and all businesses are owned and controlled by the state. Military service is compulsory for all citizens, and men serve for 5 to 12 years, while women serve for 4 to 7 years. Military training is mandatory, and citizens are required to participate in regular military drills and training exercises. Citizens are expected to dress modestly and follow a strict dress code. A curfew is in place, and citizens are expected to be indoors by a certain time. Public gatherings are forbidden, and citizens are not allowed to assemble in large groups. Kim Jong-il was born on February 16, 1941, in the Soviet Union, where his father, Kim Il-sung, was in exile. Kim Jong-il was the eldest son of Kim Il-sung and his first wife, Kim Jong-suk. Kim Jong-il studied at the Mangyongdae Revolutionary School and later at Kim Il-sung University. Kim Jong-il was married 4 times, with his wives including Hong Il-chon, married in 1966, divorced in 1969, Kim Young-suk, married in 1974, divorced in 1981, Song Hye-rim, married in 1981, died in 2002, Ko Yong-hwee, married in 2002, died in 2004. Kim Jong-il had 5 children, including Kim Jong-nam, born in 1971, died in 2017, Kim Sul-sung, born in 1974, Kim Jong-chol, born in 1981, Kim Jong-un, born in 1983, Kim Yo-jong, born in 1987. Kim Jong-il suffered a stroke in 2008, which left him partially paralyzed and unable to speak clearly. Kim Jong-il also suffered from other health issues, including diabetes, high blood pressure, and kidney disease. Kim Jong-il was a heavy smoker and was often seen with a cigarette in his hand. Kim Jong-il was also known to be a heavy drinker and was often seen drinking with his officials and guests. Kim Jong-il was a film enthusiast and had a large collection of films, including many Hollywood classics. Kim Jong-il died on December 17, 2011, at the age of 70 from a heart attack while on a train trip. Kim Jong-il's funeral was held on December 28, 2011, and was attended by thousands of mourners, including high-ranking officials and foreign dignitaries. Kim Jong-nam was the eldest son of Kim Jong-il and his first wife, Song Hye-rim. Kim Jong-nam studied in Switzerland and later in Moscow. Kim Jong-nam worked in the North Korean government but was eventually exiled from the country due to his criticism of his father's regime. Kim Jong-nam was assassinated on February 13, 2017 at Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia, allegedly by North Korean agents. Kim Jong-chol is the middle son of Kim Jong-il and his second wife, Ko Yong-hwee. Kim Jong-chol studied in Switzerland and later in Moscow. Kim Jong-chol worked in the North Korean government but was eventually removed from power due to his lack of interest in politics. Kim Jong-chol is known to be a fan of Eric Clapton and has been spotted at several of his concerts. Kim Jong-un is the youngest son of Kim Jong-il and his second wife, Ko Yong-hwee. Kim Jong-un studied in Switzerland and later at Kim Il-sung University. He rose quickly through the ranks of the North Korean government, becoming the supreme leader of the country after his father's death in 2011. Kim Jong-un has continued his father's policies, including the development of North Korea's nuclear program, and has also implemented some economic reforms. Kim Jong-un, the current supreme leader of North Korea, has a life history that's marked by his rise to power and his efforts to consolidate control over the country. Born on January 8, 1982, or possibly 1983 or 1984, Kim Jong-un is the youngest son of Kim Jong-il, the former supreme leader of North Korea, and his mother, Ko Yong-hwee. He spent part of his childhood in Switzerland, where he attended school under a pseudonym. Kim Jong-un's rise to power began in 2009 when his father, Kim Jong-il, appointed him as his successor. He was elected to the Supreme People's Assembly in 2009 and became the vice chairman of the Central Military Commission in 2010. After his father's death in 2011, Kim Jong-un became the supreme leader of North Korea at the age of 29. Since taking power, Kim Jong-un has worked to consolidate control over North Korea. He has purged several high-ranking officials, including his uncle, Jang Song-thaek, and has taken steps to increase the power of the Workers' Party of Korea. He has also continued his father's policy of developing North Korea's nuclear program, which has led to tensions with the international community. Kim Jong-un is known to be a fan of basketball and has been spotted attending games. He's also married to Ri Sol-ju, a former singer, and has at least one child with her. Overall, Kim Jong-un's life history is marked by his rapid rise to power and his efforts to consolidate control over North Korea. Despite his young age, he has become one of the most powerful leaders in the world.